The mansion is a clear mess, not just broken furniture and scattered papers, but a deeper kind of brokenness, the kind that settles in your bones when something precious is ripped away. The seven brothers of BTS and the most feared mafia group in the country stood there in their own messy mansion, the sharp edge dulled by a grief that they are facing after missing that one particular from their mansion. Jim, the oldest, is usually the one who held everything together. He is the calm in their storm, but his steady hand shook when he picked up a small teddy bear from the floor. It was Vine's gift from him years ago. He remembered her tiny hand, squeezing it tight, her bright, shining eyes with joy. He closed his eyes, his chest getting tighter. Where is his baby sister, who had dared to take her away from him? Namjoon, the leader, felt like his mind is tangled mess. He was supposed to be smart, to have all the answers, but there was no answer for this situation. He stares at the couch, the messy room, a place where Vine would often curl up with a book, a small figure, a comforting presence for brothers. He pictured her there, safe and sound, against of the current situation of the room. He clenched his fist, his knuckles turning white. They need to find her, no matter what. Sugar, usually quiet and unreadable, felt a fire ignite within him. He walked through the room, his eyes scanning every corner of the room, every shadow, as if she might suddenly appear from somewhere. He saw a small, colorful drawing pinned to a board that had somehow survived the attack. It was a picture Vine had drawn of all of them. 7 smiling, stick figures surrounding a much smaller one with "Our family" written on it. He remembered her showing it to him, her face beaming with pride. The thought of someone had hurt her, had taken her away from their family, is unbreakable. Hobby, the one who always brought light and laughter in all siblings' lives, is feeling suffocated. He felt a darkness took over around him, which he had never known before. He walked towards her room, the room which is untouched by the worst of the attack, but feeling empty. Her bed is still neatly made. Her favorite unicorn plushie sitting on the pillow. He imagined her sleeping there, safe and sound, but the reality of her absence is like a physical act. He fell on his knees on the floor, hiding his face by covering his face by his hands. Jimin felt so helpless. He felt deep betrayal, not just by the enemies, but by himself. He had promised to protect her. He promised to always care for her. A past memory of his rush through his mind. When she was young, he remembered teaching her how to play the piano, her small fingers struggling to reach the keys. Then she learned, slowly, carefully and joyfully. He thought of her innocent joy, her trusting nature. It made his heart ache. Taeyong, who always sees the world with a unique and innocent wonder, is now looking at it through a blur of tears. He found a small, smooth stone, a little heart-shaped and colored beautifully by her. She called it the lucky stone. He held it tight, remembering her happy chatter. The idea of her being scared, alone, broke his heart into a million pieces. Jungkook, the youngest but often the fierce one, is quiet. He scanned the area, searching for any clue, any sign what had happened to his baby sister. He remembered teaching her how to kick a punching bag, small but determined, huffing as she tried to copy him. He had always been her protector, her strongest shield, and now that shield has failed miserably. They are the most powerful men of the country, but without her, they are just 7 broken pieces of family. The hunt for her began. They are ready to tear the world apart, if they have to bring her home back. The 7 brothers, BTS known as the most powerful and feared mafia in the country, are now just 7 desperate men on a mission. Jin, 31 years old, Suga, 30 years old, Hobby, 29, along with Jun, Jimin, 28, and queen of their Cook, 26, and their baby sister, the light of their dark life, is Vine, 22 years old. She is just few years younger, but still their precious little sister, fiercely protected. They sat in the limo. June, are we clear on the plan? His tone was low and dangerous than usual. No hesitation, no mercy. Wine is our priority. Cook, mercy isn't in our dictionary, Hume. They will regret the day they decided to touch her. Sugar, stay sharp. These are unpredictable. His voice was dark. The drive was long, through winding country roads that eventually led them to a dislocated area. The air grew heavier. Hobby, it's quiet, too quiet than I expected. His fingers clutched over his rifle. Jimin, they must be waiting. They must have an idea about our arrival. He whispered, his voice tight, his heart pounded in his chest. A mix of fear for Vine and a burning desire to tear this place apart. The fight started in seconds. The brothers were brutal, efficient, and filled with rage that burned hotter than any fire. Jin, clear front door, he ordered to his men. He took down 2 armed men with practiced ease. His face was a mask of grim determination, but his eyes held a desperate plea for his sister. Where is she? Tell me, he growled at his terrified enemy. Completely opposite of his gentle tone for his baby sister. The fight was relentless, but the brothers were a force of nature. One by one, their enemies fell. After what felt like an eternity, the last echoed in the silence. A heavy, ringing silence echoed, and then silence. They had cleared the factory with their little boss. The little love is nowhere to be seen. June, she is not here. Search every inch. Now all of you, he spat and ordered to all his men. He kicked over a discarded barrel, showing his anger. They all searched, tearing apart the already devastated building, but found nothing. No trace of her, just more emptiness. Cook, no, no, this can't be. Jin, where else could she be? We followed every lead, but he ran his long fingers through his messy hair. Sugar, they played with us. They led us here to waste our time. His voice is low and dangerous. At the same time, far, far away from the despair of her brothers. She shivered, not from the cold that spread in the room, but from the bone-deep loneliness that had become her constant partner now. She is in a place where no one would ever think or look. A place so unexpected to brothers, so unimaginable. She is in an old building. that is between the cold mountains of the country. Her brothers would never know or imagine of a place of silence, of prayers, of peace. She sat on the cold stone floor of a bare room. The only light came from a single flickering candle. Her long hair, once always styled by Jimin, is now dull and a little messy and tangled. Her clothes, simple and placed, hung loosely on her thin frame. She looks nothing like the vibrant, pampered, and stylish little sister of the Mafia kings, but she is looking lost, a broken piece. A single tear made its way down her cheek, then another, and it continues to flow, her silent little sobs wrecking her small body. She pulled her knees to her chest, hiding her face in them, trying to muffle her voice that threatened to escape. She closed her eyes, and the past flashbacks came in seconds. She saw her Genie Oppa laughing as he cooked her favorite meal, preparing it with too much love, ruffling her hair and calling her his little princess. Mine, Oppa, can we have chocolate ice cream tonight? She remembered asking him, her eyes shining with hope and her voice bright. Jin, nodding. Anything for my little love, he replied, his smile warm and comforting. Next, she pictured her junior Oppa patiently helping her with her project. His usual deep voice calm and reassuring. June, it's okay to make mistakes, baby, he said while petting her and showing her mistake again. She is looking frustrated with the same problem again and again. June, but don't forget to learn from them. You can make mistake once, twice, thrice, but next time be extra careful, okay? She nodded while sitting in the room alone, like answering to his question. She is feeling like a mistake, alone and forgotten. She then recalled Suga, who always let her listen to his new music. His usually serious face softening the most, only for her. Suga, what do you think about this one? He asked, pretending like he doesn't care, but she knows her one response matters the most to him. Vine, it's beautiful, Oppa. She missed his quiet presence, his unspoken comfort. She remembered her sunshine Oppa, his energy as he danced with her, making her laugh until her cheeks hurt. Hobby, come on, baby, let's shake it, he would yell, pulling her onto the dance floor. His smile wide. The thought of his bright smile now brought fresh tears in her Bambi, tired eyes. Will she ever see it again? She felt her Jiminopa's gentle touch as he braided her hair smoothly, singing a soft melody. Jimin, you're so pretty, my little doll. He loves her hair more than her. She craved for his gentle and comforting touch, his warm presence that always made her feel safe around him. She saw her there, Oppa, his eyes full of wonder as they explored the hidden corners of the mansion, pretending to be adventurers. There, look, baby, a secret passage. His eyes filled with excitement. They found nothing but an old, dusty closet in storage room. But for them, it was a grand adventure. She missed their silly games, the shared world of imagination. Her cookie Oppa, her fierce protector, who always teaches her how to punch, his strong hands guiding hers. Cook, you need to be strong, baby. Always. She is not strong now. She is weak, afraid, broken, and she just wants her big brothers to save her and take her back with them to their mansion. Each memory was a fresh wave of pain, a constant reminder of the family she had lost, the family that had been snatched away from her. She missed their noise, their cute arguments, and their overwhelming love and care for each other. She missed everything. She is a captive, yes, but more than that, she is utterly alone in a world that felt impossibly far from her own. And she has no idea if her brothers got to know about her. Are they searching for her? If they even remember her? The thought was a dagger to her fragile little hope. Outside, the wind blew. Inside, she hugged herself more tighter, if possible. A silent, heartbroken prayer whispered into the cold mountain air. Flashback. When brothers left for the mission. They all left for the mission, a dangerous one. They had assured her that she doesn't need to worry about. She raised them, a small smile on her face, and then she walked into the mansion. She spent her day in some usual activities, thinking about her brothers. In the evening, she is curled on the couch in the living room, a cup of warm favorite coffee beside her. She is completely busy in reading her favorite novel. Then a distant boom was heard through the air. She frowned, thinking it's just a storm. But then a louder, closer explosion took place. The lights flickered, then stopped. The darkness took over the place. A cold shiver ran down her spine. That wasn't a storm. This is an attack. When? Hello? Is anyone there? A small voice trembled as she called out anyone. Her heart beating fast. Silence. Then another voice, shattering the glass from another part of the mission. Footsteps, heavy and numerous, echoed through the wide hallways. Panic kicked in. She scrambled off the couch, her mind racing. She needs to hide anywhere in the mansion. Her cookie taught her this. He told her about some secret places. She walked towards the hidden panel behind a large bookshelf, a spot only she and her brothers are aware of. She was about to pull a string, a secret one. As her hands are trembling, a flashlight beam cut through the darkness. Anon? Well, what do we have here? A cold but familiar voice. She froze on the spot. Her breath hitched in her throat. Standing in the doorway, a huge manly figure. But she recognized him in that darkness. A man she had seen many times. A man on whom brother seemingly trust. It is Mr. Lee. A man who always been so kind, always brought her gifts, but today his eyes are holding something else. A chilling, cruel glint. Mr. Lee, looking for a way off, little bird? He smirked, stepping closer. Behind him, armed men entered in the room, their faces hidden with the mask. Mr. Lee, too bad, little birdie. You're coming with me. When? Mr. Lee, what are you doing here? Her voice was barely above whisper, filled with disbelief and fear. She took a step back, but bumped into the bookshelf. Mr. Lee, your brothers have made a lot of enemies, Ryan. And sometimes the best way to hit them is where it hurts the most. He chuckled darkly. He sounded chill. And you, my dear Ryan, are their biggest weakness. Before she could react, strong hands grabbed her. She screamed, struggled, and kicked, but it was useless. She is too small, and there are too many. Her last memory of her home was the roaring fire, shouts, his cruel smile, as she was taken away from the mansion, from everything she knew. She was thrown into a car, then was blindfolded and gagged by a napkin. The journey was long, terrifying, filled with twists and turns that made her stomach ache terribly. When the car finally stopped, the blindfold was ripped off. She found herself in a place so utterly unlike anything she had ever known. She was then handed over to a stern-faced woman in a simple habit, who introduced herself as Sister Angela. Mr. Lee delivered a chilling warning: keep her here, keep her isolated, and make sure she knows what her family has cost her. And Sister Angela, seemingly a woman of God, carried out his order with full dedication. Wine, please, I want to go to my home. My Oppa will come for me. She pleaded on the first day, her voice raw from crying hard, her eyes red and swollen. Sister, your brothers are men of violence, child. This is your true place. You belong here. Just because they do sins. Her voice was flat, no warmth. She then placed a ball of porridge. Sister, here eat. You will play after this. You will need to. Life of this place was a living hell. Not a physical, but of soul-crushing isolation and emotional. She was kept in a small cold room. She was given the barest necessities, a hard coat, scratchy cloth. Her days were filled with forced prayers sessions, hours spent in the silent medication. Endless chores like scrubbing floors, washing dishes, tending to a small barren garden in the freezing wind. Sister, have you learned humility yet, child? She asked, her eyes narrowed, watching Wine as she scrubbed the cold stone floor, her knees aching. Sister, or are you still clinging to the sins of your past? Wine, my brothers aren't sinful, they aren't bad people. They are protectors. They protect people. She protested. Her voice was weak, her eyes welling up with tears as she remembered her brothers and the emotion of frustration of this place. Sister, they are devils. And you, my child, you, their sister, is tainted by their darkness. She shook her head, a look of pity on her face, or maybe a look of disgust for Wine. Her words were like venom, shaking Wine's spirit. Sister, this solitude is for your own good, to cleanse you, your aura, your mentality, which is filled by those brothers with so many unholy things. She left from there. Wine wasn't allowed with any book, no paper, no way to connect with the outside world. She wasn't, but constant negative remarks of her brothers about their sins, about her being tainted, slowly started crushing her spirit. She grew thinner, paler. Her once bright eyes became pale and emotionless. She missed her brothers, her world, her only comfort, so much. It was a constant dull ache in her chest. She craved for them, their presence, their laughter, their arguments, their care, their assurance, their overwhelming love. This is her new life, her prison, Sister Angela, her tormentor, in the form of guardian. The physical hardships were still bearable for her, but the emotional ones, the constant chipping away at her love for her family, were far worse. She is terrified that eventually she may start to believe what Sister Angela said, that she is truly tainted and her brothers are truly sinners. Back to the mansion, the brothers returns, defeated and consumed by a terrifying truth. June, we are missing something. We missed something from starting. He paced in the renovated living room, running a hand through his hair. His voice was filled with frustration and anger. Cook, but what, Yum? We tore that place apart. In anger, he kicked a huge table of wooden. Jim, let's go over everything again. Each and every single detail of that day. He sat down heavily, his shoulders slumped. It's been weeks now. They searched her almost everywhere. Checked so many transportation, but she is nowhere to be seen. Jimin, being restless, unable to control himself, and walk over to her room again, opposite of the mansion. The room is same, in the same condition she left it. He just needs to be there, wants to feel closer to her. He walked in. The air thickened with her faint scent. His eyes scanned the room, lingering on the bed, and then on her favorite plushie, tucked neatly in the corner. He picked up a small book beside the table. Then suddenly something caught his eyes. It was small, almost hidden, tucked beneath the loose floorboard, right beside her bed. It was a habit of her to hide little treasures. He knelt down, his heart pounding in his chest with a sudden, illogical hope. He pulled it out with his small, trembling hands. It was a small, drawn map. It wasn't the detailed one, but more like a child drawing. It is showing mountains, a winding path, a small, square building just in between all this. And there is cross sign on top of it, and there is something written underneath the drawing in her neat and beautiful writing. Lee's gift. Jimin gasped, his eyes widening. He remembered Mr. Lee always bring some little trinkets, gifts, from his travels. Once a few months ago, he had given her a tiny carved wooden bird, saying it was from a quiet place in the mountains. Jimin, young, everyone, come here now. His voice was loud, a mix of disbelief and a desperate hope. All brothers came there while running. Jimin, I found something. He held out the map, his hands trembling. Look, this is hers. And these words, Lee's gift. He points at the drawing, then to the words. He gave her that wooden bird. He said it was from a quiet place in the mountains. June, Lee, the same guy who helped us with the last trade deal? His eyebrows twitched in confusion, but then his eyes widened in realization. He was having access. He knew our schedules. He knew about her. His words hung in air. Sugar, that he used to share stories to her about a calm, peaceful place. He didn't just attack us, but He took our most weakest spot and he used us by gaining our trust, by gaining her trust. Jin. And the place? A building with cross line and high in mountains. They all are gathering the dots and making it a path for them to reach till her hobby. It's so far. His voice was a whisper of shock. But I'm sure she will be there. It has to be that place only. There. We are going there. Now. His eyes, which were filled with pain, are now filled with fierce purpose and rage. Cook. That snake? Lee. He will be. He clenched his fist. A dark promise to himself in his eyes can be seen. His knuckles turning white. Let's go home. Princess must be waiting for us. The map, small and unassuming, is their only hope. It was a chilling revelation. The ultimate betrayal from someone they had trusted fully, trusted with her. A roaring fire in the hearts of 7 brothers who would now stop at nothing to bring their sister home. Even if it meant tearing down a mountain or burning to the ground. The 7 brothers were silent, but their minds were a storm of memories and questions. The small childlike map, see, had drawn is clutched in John's hand. It is all they are having, and it is their everything. Cook. I can't believe it was him. He slammed his fist lightly against the dashboard, his voice filled with disbelief. He remembered Lee bringing her a brightly wrapped gift, a new art set, just a few months ago. He always seemed so nice to her, especially there. He always brought her little things, didn't he? Do you guys remember that small wooden carvings? Then those little trinkets. He recalled Lee kneeling down, eye level with her when she was sitting on a couch and was listening to his stories. Jimin, he used to sit in the garden and share his stories about special travels. He gritted his teeth in the end. Sugar, and he even taught her that little card trick. He shook his head when the memories of past hit him. They all recalled a day when she excitedly showed them her clumsy card trick that Lee had taught her. Jun, he seemed like a favorite uncle or something. Jin, that's exactly it. He played the part perfectly. His voice was filled with rage. He remembered laughing with Lee at dinner and sharing a drink, never once suspecting the venom beneath that polite smile of Lee. Jin, then he continues. He knew our routines, knew when we would be gone, and he was always around, helping with things. Sugar, he was building trust, not just with us, but with her. He made sure she saw him as safe. June, and do you guys know about that map? That gift? He probably meant for it to be a taunt, a twisted message. Hobby. But why? Why my baby only? Why would he do this? June, we will find that out as well when we will get there. To him, to her. His grip on the map tightened. He looks at the drawing of the mountains and the building with the cross. June, this is why we are heading only to this place. It's too specific, too personal. He assumed we won't be able to think that, but I'm sure she will be here only. And he then took a very deep breath. I'll find my baby girl here only. Finally, after hours of relentless driving, their car pulled to a stop. The place just looks same as she drew, a quiet, peaceful place that screamed weirdness, and also a stark contrast of the place they lives. They entered in and they found the office, where an elderly nun, startled but calm, sat behind a worn wooden desk. June, we are looking for someone, a young girl. Brian, his voice was firm but still respectful. He took out his phone and showed the lady Ryan's picture. Nun, child of the devils, she whispered. Her voice was filled with fear and judgment. She is here. Sister Angela watches over her personally. The brothers exchange worried and shocked glances. Brothers in mind. Child of the devils? What is this lady talking about? Jin, take us to her. Now, he stepped forward. His voice was not less than a command, a dangerous edge returning to his snore. The nun hesitated, but finally led them down a cold, narrow corridor, the air growing colder with each step. They stopped outside a simple, unmarked wooden door. The sounds of hushed sobs could be faintly heard from inside. Wine, their baby, their most precious person. Just as Jean reached for the doorknob, Sister Angela emerged from a side room, her face stern, her eyes sharp. Sister, who are you? You cannot be here. This is a holy place. Her voice was sharp. Cook, that girl inside is our daughter. We are her family. His voice was calm, but still holding the power. He walked past by, and his hand already on the doorknob. Sister, she belongs here to compensate for your sins, your violence, and your greed. She yelled, her voice raising in a high pitch, and before that she made sure to lock the door behind the room of wine. You corrupted her, you ruined her, and her life. Jimin, what are you talking about? His eyes narrowed, and he gripped her arm tightly from side. The old woman's words were chilling. Just then, Mr. Lee appears from the same side room Sister Angela had emerged from. He wasn't in his usual sharp suit, but a simple robe that's similar to the nun's, but his eyes held a terrifying manic gleam. A small, cruel, yet devilish smile playing on his lips. Lee, the brothers are here, just on right time. His voice was far different than the usual one, and that sent shiver to brothers. Lee, did you like my little gift? Ryan's map? I knew you would follow it, just as I knew she had drew it. June, you? He took steps forward and formed fist and about to punch him when a group of armed men walked in and blocked his way. Lee, easy now, June. We wouldn't want to disturb the peace of this sacred place. He spread his hand wide, pretending to be the most innocent person. Though I supposed you have already done that, haven't you? Sugar, why Lee? Why her? His voice was low growl, yet dangerously calm. He required answers of all his questions, and he is ready to tear this place apart to get them. Lee's smile faded away, replaced by a dark, intense gaze. His eyes held a deep old pain mixed with a chilling rage. Lee, because of her, he points to a faded framed photograph on a nearby table. It is a picture of a young woman, beautiful and serene, dressed in a similar habit of Sister Angela, but more younger. Lee, my sister, she dedicated her life to God, to peace, to charity, but kind, your world of violence, it touched her. One of your rival groups, an old enemy, mistook her for an associate of yours during a raid. They, for nothing, he took a step closer, his voice dropping, a chilling whisper. Lee, she died because of you, because of the blood on your hands. She was pure, untouched by your evil, just like wine. He points behind at the room in which wine is. I watched her. I saw how you tried to keep her innocent, separate from your darkness, just like I tried to keep my sister safe. But the darkness always finds its way. It always corrupts everything. So, I decided if you couldn't save her from the world, I would. I would cleanse her. Here, in this place of purity, far away from your wicked influence. Lee, and if you think she is a prisoner over here, then you are fools. She isn't a prisoner here. She is being saved from you guys. Brothers are too stern to speak. What type of rubbish is he saying? Jin, you are insane. You have her. She is miserable. He yelled, pure horror on his face can be seen. The idea that this man thought he was saving her was sickening. Lee, miserable? No. She is learning that your love, your protection, everything from you guys is a waste. It's a cage of sin. It's a curse. She must be purified. She must be broken of her attachment to you, so her soul can be free. He truly believes that he is doing everything right. June, you are sickly. You think this is saving her? You have destroyed her. You took her from her family. His face is showing how much disgusted he is feeling by this. Lee, I took her from the very source of her pain, from the man who will eventually get her. Just like they got my sister. He made poker face. I'm simply completing the work of God. He then turned to Sister Angela, his face softening with a sickening line. Lee, sister, protect the child from these devils. Continue her purification. She nodded and suddenly walked further. She pushed brothers back with surprising strength.